Because I've had days where I'm writing the post. Today's the day, guys, we're shutting our doors. Like, I'm that burnt, and I've been able to just keep pushing. Like, congratulations, like, you've won Lip Liner of the Year. We're obsessed with Dulce Liner. And like, nights that I couldn't even sleep thinking about all this stuff. So what has kept me going, honestly, my mom, she was like, why don't you do this yourself? Like, you could start your own brand. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was like, oh, I can't start a brand with one product. And she's like, yes, you can. Like, I feel like out of all the Latinos, Cubans have the most privilege. And I've always been very clear about that because I never wanted to seem like I'm capitalizing off of something when I know how how grateful I should be. And I wish I would have like known that when I was talking to her, because I could be like, no, I don't think so. Because if that was true, then Bad Bunny wouldn't be the #1 artist of the freaking year.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to speak Spanish to get the vibe, and people like it and they catch on to it, and you don't have to be us to want to sit with us. This is a lot of info. I had previous to that been on an SSRI, like an antidepressant, and I feel like I'm in that recovery of like rebuilding my identity, and like the brand is a reflection of my identity in a way. So it would be somewhere along those lines. Vuelvan a ser or something. I'm so happy. She has made me so happy. I just can't answer the question.
Is that where Bo is gonna go?
She's literally made my life so awesome. This is the best stage of my life by far.
Today, I'm talking to someone who's not only built one of the most recognizable indie brands in the game, but did it while staying rooted in her culture, her vision, and her truth. Gabriela Trujillo is the founder and CEO of Alamar Cosmetics, a Cuban-American beauty brand that has made major waves with collections like Reina del Caribe, Spanglish Palette, the Encanto Disney collab, the Cheetos collab, and so many more great products. Gaby started her journey doing makeup for friends in high school, dropped out of college, studied at Cosmic School of Makeup Artistry, and went from MAC counters and BoxyCharm to building her own movement in beauty. As a fellow beauty founder myself, I've watched her journey with admiration and curiosity. I know what it feels like to build while healing, while carrying your family's dreams, and still trying to be yourself. Today, I want to go deeper. Not and just into how she built the brand, but also about what it costs, what it teaches, what kind of legacy she's building now as a mother, as a founder, and a blueprint for so many of us. Please welcome the one and only Gaby Trujillo of Alamar Cosmetics.
Hi, oh my gosh, that was beautiful, Sergio. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. Too much credit. You gave me too much credit, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
But it's all true, girl.
Thank you so much.
So, I mean, just to start off, one thing I definitely did not want this to be was just another interview with the same questions. You know what I mean?
I think you did an amazing job from what I saw.
Yeah, okay, good. So, but, you know, we still need to let the kids at home know who is Gaby. We know that you were born in Cuba and you moved to Miami when you were just 3 years old. So, you know, when people ask you, like, where are you from? Like, do you say Miami, Cuba?
Yeah. I think it depends. Like, I try to figure out what they mean. I'm like, oh, like, hey, yeah. So I always say I was born in Cuba, but I was raised in Miami. Born in Cuba, raised in Miami, because I feel like it's important to know that I am an immigrant, because I really like resonate with that, and it's something that's important to me. Like, I really think it makes me extra special, the fact that I came from a different country and I had to assimilate to a new culture and learn a new language and all of that. Like, I feel like people need to celebrate that in others more, because I just think that's like, I can't imagine doing that now. Like, I can't imagine moving my daughter and moving my family to like another country and starting over. So the fact that our parents did that like deserves a lot of praise.
Yes.
So I'm like heavy on I'm an immigrant, you know? So I always say born in Cuba, raised in Miami. And, but yeah, Miami's like a mini Cuba. I mean, especially where I'm from like a place called Hialeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you got a chance to see it.
No, not yet, girl.
It is extremely Cuban. Like,
really?
Literally, oh yeah, if you look it up, I think the population is like 99% Cuban. Insane. Yeah. So you don't even have to speak English there. Like, no one speaks English. No one.
That's cool, though. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, I mean, I guess because of how it is here then, is that like the connection you have, you know, to Cuba? Or is there like, you know, stories that you maybe learned like from a childhood? Like, how do you stay connected to Cuba, I guess?
I've always felt like I've never struggled to stay connected to Cuba because of where I'm from is like so Cuban. Like, everyone is Cuban. Everyone speaks Spanish. All the food in every corner is Cuban food. Like, in our high school cafeteria, they served us Cuban food only.
That's cool.
Yeah, like our high school cafeteria was all Cuban. All the cooks and everybody, literally, I can't stress it enough, like literally everything around us is always Cuban. So I've always felt very connected to my culture. Also, my parents, I speak to them only in Spanish. My entire family, I speak to them only in Spanish. And I've also had the privilege, I've been able to go to Cuba like 3 times.
That's really, I was going to ask you that. Yeah, because like, what is that? You know, I don't know how that I know some people can't.
Yeah, so I'm fortunate that I can. I just have to, every time I want to go, I have to renew my Cuban passport. So I have to enter the country with my Cuban passport, and then I have to leave the country with my American passport. So it's more difficult. It's very expensive. The Cuban passport, I think, is like $600, and you have to do it every 2 or 3 years.
Ooh,
it's insane.
Yeah.
But I do love it. I love, my grandma's still there, so I have to see her.
So what kind of kid were you before all of this? Like in high school, like, did you always know that you would become who you are?
Well, I feel like in high school, I've always been like creative. I think in high school, I was in drama, but I was too shy to actually.
You were a drama kid? What?
I was Troop 1576.
Oh,
but I was never like on stage. I was always really, really shy.
Okay.
So I did the makeup, and I would once my teacher, shout out Miss Mabel Meir, once she figured out that I liked makeup and I was good at makeup, she would be like, you're going to be backstage. You're going to do she gave me that, which is amazing. And also, I did more tech, like stage management, and I ended up being the secretary of the drama club, even though I was never on stage, which is interesting. And then I also did choir, and I've always loved creative things, always, and I always did makeup, like from the time that I was like 13, 14, using CVS stuff, using eBay stuff, like terribly done, but it was a way for me to like express myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I ever saw myself being like a beauty brand owner, but I always knew I wanted to do something creative.
And like, especially since your mom is an esthetician, like, do you think that also influenced it maybe? Or?
Oh, for sure. My mom being an esthetician like showed me the value of being your own boss. But my mom started her own business when I was like in 3rd grade, I want to say. And it started by her just renting a room in a salon. So she started renting like a salon suite inside of an existing salon, and just that way, because she rather like do that. She rather spend money renting a room, but she's her own boss, than work for the owner of the salon. And I always saw that like, wow, like because the freedom of being able to like, she would leave in the middle of, she would schedule herself so that she would have an hour to pick me up and drop me off from school.
Yeah. So
like she was still very present, even though she was working so much. So she would drop me back off at home and then go back to work, and she wouldn't come back to like 7 or 8. But she was her own boss, and she was able to build her own brand. So I wanted that for myself too.
What college were you enrolled to? Like, what were you studying?
So when I left high school, my plan was to be a psychologist, because in high school I took an AP psychology course that I loved.
Okay.
And like I fell in love with it. So I was like, I am gonna be a psychologist. I'm called to do this. But I couldn't get the hang of college. Like I just couldn't. I was like depressed. I hated it. Like I couldn't, like I really couldn't. So I started slacking off right away. Like my first semester, I just chose electives. So like my first semester of college was Greek mythology, hallucinogenics, American history.
All great classes, Great classes.
But not getting me close to that degree. Not getting me close.
I flunked out of psychology.
Did you?
Yeah. And I also find it fascinating, but I was also depressed in college. So
it's so depressed. Like something about like I don't even know, like the rigid schedules. I don't know. Just for me, it's like I think I was burnt out, because I was a very, very good student in high school. You too? Okay, so I was like, so I expected to do very well in college, because in high school I did very well. I had AP classes. I got A's. I was honor roll. All of that crap. But I just like, I feel like I burnt out from it.
The same thing. I applied to 5 colleges in Florida. I got into all of them, and yeah, I feel you. So like I feel. Yeah,
must be
we
like
were those
creatives.
kids.
Yeah, that by then I'm like, I can't fake it anymore. I don't want to do this. So I was like, Mom, my mom saw it in me. Like I was very, very depressed. I lost my scholarship. I was like, Mom, I can't do this. And she's like, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm like, I want to be a makeup artist. And keep in mind, this was like 13 years ago, 14 years ago. Like YouTube wasn't even big at the time. Instagram didn't exist at all yet. So makeup, the only makeup artist careers that were known were like being a makeup artist for movies, being a makeup artist for red carpets. Like we didn't know, like we never could have imagined all the makeup artist careers that would have stemmed from social media. But even with like all that unknown, my mom was still like, do it, let's do it.
I love that.
Yeah. So she let me use money that we were supposed to use for college to go to a school called Cosmetics here in Florida. That's just a makeup school.
Founder to founder. What was the turning point that made you say, I'm going to build a brand?
The turning point, I think it's like a lot of little things like over time. Like let's just take it like the year 2017. I was working at BoxyCharm, like a corporate, and it kind of started with like, I don't think I want to work in a corporate office forever. That was the first kind of like, you need to do something. And then like meeting other founders there. So in BoxyCharm, it's like a subscription box company, which we love. And
Yes.
they we have a bunch of brands that would be featured, and then a lot of the times like they would come in and we would talk to them, and from meeting the founders and kind of getting little nuggets of information like, oh, where'd you make this palette? Oh, this lab. I mean, being like, noted, there's a lab there. And then talking to someone else and being like, oh, I love this photo shoot, who do you work with? This photographer. Oh, let me follow that photographer. Like kind of picking up little nuggets of like information and starting to string them together. And then literally one day there was a girl that worked with me at BoxyCharm, a woman. Her name is Bridget. And she is a phenomenal product developer, and she's just an incredible person. And she was like, why don't you do this yourself? Like, you could start your own brand. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, like you could start with one palette, and you already have a following on social media, and you could start posting it. And if that palette does well, you can invest that money in the next. And she's like, not, because I was like, oh, I can't start a brand with one product. And she's like, yes, you can. So if it wasn't for Bridget's like push, I wouldn't have done it. But she put the idea in my head. So I always credit her for that. So she put the idea in my head, and then from there it was kind of like, oh, maybe I can't. Then it was obsession. Then it was pure obsession. Like I was living and breathing every second of my day was conceptualizing this brand. Like, what's it gonna be called? I got the LLC. What's it gonna look like? Like it was an obsession. And then I was like, I can't. I have no choice. Like I'm too obsessed. I have to do it. And that's how the palette was born.
Living in that moment, like when you were conceptualizing and doing all that, like what resources did you have? Like what were your initial steps? Like, we all start differently, and like I kind of want to get a good vivid picture of like what it was like, the process, like right then and there. Like.
Yeah. I think the first thing I did was register the LLC. So the first thing I did once you put the idea in my head for my own brand, I had always thought about it, like what I would do, whatever. Like I had like a dream of having my own business. I just didn't know what it would be, but I really wanted it to be inspired by my culture. And this actually came from, have you ever heard of Juvia's Place? I'm sure you have.
Yes.
So Juvia's Place was a huge inspiration for me.
Okay, makes so much sense.
Yeah, huge, because they were so unapologetically a Black brand. And I was like, yes, like everything is so the same on the market. Everything is so Euro. Everything is so cover girl. Blah, blah, blah. Like we need something different. So the way that they were so unapologetically Black, I was like, I want to be unapologetically Latina. Like I want to, but I also want to be neutral, because Latinos are so diverse. Like there's, the Mexican culture is so different from the Cuban culture, but we all have one thing in common. We're othered here. We speak Spanish and we're immigrants. So I was like, I really want to like hone in on that and the names and the Spanish and all of that. So I was like, if I'm going to do it, it has to have that point of difference. And that's where I got the A. That's kind of where I don't know if I answered the question.
No, I mean, yeah, basically. So Juvia's Place was a big inspiration.
Juvia's Place
which is like,
and Beauty Bakery.
Okay. Which is iconic because, yeah, when I think of heritage brands, Juvia's is definitely the top. What comes to mind.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've been the most successful at like being mainstream and being ultra relevant while still being like unapologetically, we are for the Black girls. Like we are a Black brand, which I love.
I've had my brand for now 5 years. Most of it has just been me grinding on the side, learning as I go, girl, trust me. And then just realizing that like I haven't yet fully made it a business yet. It's still my dream in motion, but it gets hard to tell sometimes. It's like, is this really worth it? Like, just that. I did read your Beauty Matter interview, and you mentioned that Alamar generated $5 million in 5 years, which, girl,
thank you.
Yes. Audience, please clap. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like you said, you said yourself, like, you couldn't even fathom it.
Yeah.
And, girl, I definitely can't imagine it right now. But how did you know Alamar was, like, something worth betting on? Like, what made you feel like this is it?
Yeah. For me, like, I think because I was so passionate about it, like I was going to do it no matter what. But I also think like once I saw the community response to it, like I launched this back in 2018 and it was a different time. Like Instagram was so big, but like not so saturated yet. So there was a big audience that didn't have a lot of content to feast on. And when I started dropping those pictures of the palette and those names, like the reaction was so... I can't even explain it. It gives me chills thinking about it. Like people were so into it and they liked it so much that on the first day that I launched, I made like $80,000 in a day. It's insane. It's insane. And a lot of people had never tried I've never made anything before.
Yeah.
It was my first thing I ever made. But just because I had a following on social media and a lot of people had seen me as the face of BoxyCharm for so long that they trusted like me. They wanted it and they felt the connection to the vision of the brand. The fact that it was so Latina-centric, that it was so pigmented, that it was so affordable. Because I was giving them like literal Sephora quality in that palette for $28. Okay. So I think all of that combined, like I was like, this is going to work. Like they see what I want to do and they're into it. So I just kept pouring everything back into it. And because of the success of that palette, like I always said, I was like, you know how people flip houses?
Yeah.
I was flipping makeup because like I had put all my money into Reina 1. And then with the money of Reina 1, I spawned Reina 2, Spanglish. And then that's the success of that spawned the next. Like, I've literally just been flipping. So like, even though like, yes, it sounds amazing, like 5 million in 5 years, so grateful. It's all gone back in. Like, I don't have anything personal to show for it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't buy myself a house. I didn't buy myself I should have. But no, I'm just kidding. It was good. It should have gone back into the brand. So it's all gone back into products, gone back into my, remodeling the warehouse. Like it's all gone back in.
And I love that you say that because that's something people do not realize.
No.
It costs so much to do anything. And 5 million sounds, and you see that you've reinvested it because trust me, the things that you've been able to put out and do, like, I know I'm like, God, that's like, that's a lot, and for you being independent, no investors, right? Yeah, it shows that, girl, I'm not just hoarding this money and
100%,
being irresponsible. Like,
100%. I'm so glad you see that.
Dream. Yeah.
I'm so glad you see that because you are a product developer now too, so you know what things cost. So only someone that knows what things cost can be like, oh yeah, that money is here. And like in all, like I offer 40 different SKUs and I have, like you can see that is in the product rather than like someone that made all that money and they still only have 5 SKUs out,
Like, let's say like on the days where, belief is just really shaky, what has kept you going?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I've had so many days where the belief is really shaky because along the way, I've had a lot of hiccups, Like I've had a lot of things go wrong. I've been sued twice. I've had to pull loans out that then I didn't have enough money to pay back. I've had a lot of things along the way that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is hard. Like this is hard. Like mentally, I don't even like nights that I couldn't even sleep thinking about all this stuff. So what has kept me going, honestly, my mom has kept me going a lot. My mom is such a positive person and she's like super, super inspiring. So she's always been like, do the best that you can today and just put your focus and your energy into something positive today. So like, forget everything that's going on. Don't look at the bank account. Don't look at anything. Like what's a positive thing that you could do for the business today? And that's kind of how I started doing my lives because I was in such a bad place in the business. And I was like, am I going to, do I just shut it down? Or is there like one small thing that I can do today positive? So I'm like, I'm going to try this. And I just started putting like love and positivity into the brand. And then I think that's like started to multiply. But yeah, I feel like what's kept me going is honestly like my mom's advice and my mom's support. And just kind of like, because you know what? I have to say, like, it's not enough to be like, you've done this for so long. You've tried so hard. Don't give up. Because like, to me, that's not enough. It's kind of like with a friendship, like, oh, we've already been friends so long, like I might as well stay friends with the person.
No.
That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I don't care how much time I've put into it. If it's draining me and I'm sad, like I want to quit, whether it's a relationship or whatever. So with me, it's not just like, oh, you've invested so much time, stick it out. It's more of like, just try to do something positive take it one day at a time. Do something positive for the brand today. Put love in it a little bit today, whether it's cleaning. Like sometimes all I can do that day is like clean the warehouse, right? Or like organize or something. And just that little act of love that I'm doing for the brand helps me connect a little bit more. And then it lives another day. Because I've had days where I'm writing the posts. Like I literally have had days where I'm like, today's the day, guys, we're shutting our doors. Like I'm that burnt. I'm that sad. It's that scary. And I've been able to just keep pushing.
When you're the founder and the face of your brand, especially, being a Latina, there's a lot of emotional labor involved. Do you ever feel like people expect access to you, not just your product? How do you like protect yourself or like?
I think I protected myself a little too much
because
like back in 2021, when I first got hit with the lawsuit, I was so done. Like I was so over it and I was so depressed and so burnt out that I literally stopped posting. I didn't show my face on my brand social media for like over a year. To the point where like when the Encanto collection came out, which was one of the biggest moments of my life, that I grinded to another, the year leading up to that Encanto collection, my grind, it was sick. Like it was sick. Like I was barely sleeping. I put out 13 products in 1 year, 13 products in 1 year with Disney, meaning they were literally like picking through it with a fine tune, like a fine, what's that expression? They were picking through it with a fine tooth comb, finding every issue, going back. I literally, those 13 products, I made them across like 6 different labs at the same time, logistically. And it's just me, my husband, Helen, Thalia, like it's 4 of us. It's not like a big brand,
Yeah.
And it was a lot of units and I had to get that funded. I worked with the SBA, and I had to produce so much proof, and I had to put my house up. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea.
The cost of
The cost of going for it. Like, people they just see like, oh my gosh, she collabed with Disney. You have no idea what that cost me mentally, emotionally. Like, I don't regret it for a single second. It was one of the greatest things I've ever accomplished. But by the end of that, I had gained 70 pounds in a year. I was the most depressed I'd ever been. I had also been, previous to that, this is a lot of info. I've never, whatever. I had previous to that been on an SSRI, like an antidepressant. So previous to that, like from 2018 to early 2021, I had been on an antidepressant because I've always, like, I used to struggle with that a lot in my 20s. And then right around the time that I started working on Disney, I'm like, I want to get off of this because I want to start trying for a baby. So I'm going to get off. Oh my gosh. I wish I could turn back time and not do that. So if I could turn back time, I wouldn't have done that decision. It was too much at once. So by the end of that year of developing the Disney collab, I had gone through one of the most stressful periods of my life. And I was also in withdrawal from an SSRI. So I was done. Like, I was mentally gone. And it took me over 2 years to come back to be this again. And I'm not even fully myself yet. Like, I'm a lot better, but I'm not even fully myself yet. So when people are like, oh, what happened to her? Like, she stopped posting. Like, I literally stopped posting. I didn't even promote the Encanto collection with my own face. I was posting content that I paid other people to do, but I never did a single look with the Encanto collection. Isn't that so sad?
That is sad. And now that you're pointing it out, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, the only Encanto thing I remember, like, with your face is I believe you did maybe like was it like red carpet, like a premiere or
that's
something?
all I did. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't do a single video.
I hate that you like missed out on that,
know.
you know?
When I think about it, it is really sad because I worked so hard for it.
Yeah.
But like, I just didn't have it in me. Are you gonna cry?
I don't know. Like, I kind of like, oh my God.
Your eyes are glossy. No,
Okay.
no. Let's come back. It's okay. It's my journey. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's just, I don't know.
You're the sweetest
I'm okay.
ever. What sign are you?
I'm an Aries. You
Ooh,
are
I'm a
not.
Pisces.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay.
By just staying off of social media, it's like it doesn't exist. Like, I don't read the comments when I don't want. Now in the last, from like 2023 to now, which is crazy. That's 2 years. I'm on TikTok almost every day. Like, I'm live almost every single day. I post content almost every single day. That hasn't taken a toll on me because I enjoy it so much, and because it's like short period. Like, I'm on TikTok for 2 hours on a live, and then I'm out. And like, that's how I keep it. If I were to stay obsessing into it and reading it would get to me. Yeah,
makes so much sense. By the way, you're definitely going to love the Artist's Way book.
I can't wait to read that.
Do you remember? Do you know Dulce?
Yeah.
She promoted that, like, she made that popular. That's how I even knew about it. And that book is so old, but you're gonna get so much out of it. Like, I got so much out of it.
I saw an interview where she talked about. No, it wasn't an interview. It was an old YouTube video she did.
Yeah, you probably saw her weekly stuff because you do like weekly things. There's a notebook there. So morning pages is 3 pages every morning. It's like a diary.
Oh my gosh, you're so kind for that.
So and it's like, it's green. So I hope
you
like, you know what I mean?
I love green. My birthday's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, it is?
I'm like, me and green are like this.
Okay, because when I think of Alamar, tropical, I think green. That's why I might get.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Sergio.
Yeah. So 3 pages, you write whatever, dreams, ideas, whatever. But you need to I tried my best to keep with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I want to.
And that's gonna be,
I
you're
believe
really
in that
busy,
100%.
you're hard. It'll be hard, but I mean,
No.
I believe in you.
I don't think even like with being busy, like, I feel like you're never too busy, or you should never be too busy to like invest time into your creativity, because like that's the energy that allows you to move forward in life.
Yes.
Whatever it is that you're choosing to do, if you're not taking a time to like indulge in your creativity as creatives, you feel so stuck, you feel so depressed, you feel so stagnant. And that was literally my life from like the end of 2021 till like the beginning of 2023. So completely understand.
You've done so much without outside investors. How do you decide what's worth spending money on and what's like just noise?
Yeah, good question. How do I decide what's worth spending money on and what's just noise? A lot of trial and error. I've spent money on a lot of dumb shit. Like, at the beginning, when I was first making money and I didn't know, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's hire someone and pay them $50,000 a year to write email copy. I would never do that now. Never, ever, ever, ever. For me, I'm just very intentional now because I need everything I put my money in. I have to see a return on it. If not, I'm not going to survive. Like, in this industry right now, like the way everything is set up, like if I don't have a direct return, I'm not going to make it. So I'm putting my money into like my audience now. So right now I'm spending my money on like giving free gifts, on paying for free shipping, because that way I'm like giving the customer the best experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm able to do that because I'm bringing in the customer organically.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm like bringing in the customer through my own lives, which I don't have to pay I don't have to pay myself for that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm bringing in the customer without having to do paid ads, without having to do like paid influencer marketing. I can then afford to give the customer freebies, free shipping, and that way they have a better experience and therefore keep coming back.
And that's your cost of acquisition.
That's my cost of acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
love
that's
that.
kind of like how that's working for me now. And there is so much noise. Like I'm going to give you an example. Like I had a time where I got, those beauty awards, like lip liner of the year by this magazine, like Allure
yes.
Beauty,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I was once working with a really great publicist. I love her. And she put me up for a bunch of these awards. Like she applied me for a bunch of these awards, which you have to pay to apply. So I spent money on the applications, but I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, it's fine. It wasn't much. It's like maybe 100 or 150 per.
Oh, okay. Well.
And then I actually won one. I won lip liner of the year from a specific magazine, I won't say.
Mm-hmm.
And then they emailed me, like, congratulations, like, you've won lip liner of the year. We're obsessed with Dulce liner. Like, we want to give you whatever. Here's our package. And it was like a PDF that you open. And it was like, okay, if you want to have the icon that says blank magazine liner of the year, it was like $10,000 to license the little icon. If you want to put that icon on your website and you want to have it, like, let's say if I had a gondola at CVS and I want to put it there, I would have to pay $15,000, whatever. So just to say that I had won this award, I had to apply to get it, and then I had to pay thousands of dollars to promote that I had won it.
Stop.
And I'm like, I don't care. I don't want that. I don't care. I rather put 15 grand into a new launch.
Yeah.
Then into a little sticker that says I'm blank's pick of the year. Like, seriously, who cares? Like, who cares?
Like,
that's noise. In my opinion, that's noise.
Yeah.
Now, if you're huge, if you're rare beauty, what's 15K? Throw that sticker on my gondola.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for a small business, 15K is 1 to 2 products. So yeah, no.
In recent years, we've seen, a big surge of individuals wanting to start their own brand, become businesses, entrepreneurs, which is a great thing. But it's also, it's the most challenging thing to do your own thing. On your journey now, is there part of entrepreneurship that is maybe like no longer enjoyable, that like you're like, oh, I have to do it because it's necessary?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that one thing maybe for you?
It's not one thing.
You're like,
for me, anything that is not the makeup and the social media and the marketing, I don't like. So like finances, my QuickBooks, taxes, hiring, like having to look for talent, managing. I hate to manage. Like I really do. I cannot stand having to oversee a team. That's my truth. I don't like it. Like when I was in a point of my business where I had a lot more employees, like I had a point where I had like 7 employees under me. Ooh. I was like, you do you, boo boo. Just check in. Let me know how it's going. Like I don't. And when they were like, everybody gets to work from home, I'm like, yes. Like, because I cannot. I'm just not meant for that. I'm a Pisces. I'm not creative. I flow.
Yeah. I think flow. Of fish. Yeah, you're like. Girl,
so I'm like, there's no way I have to set these rigid parameters for people when I don't even like to operate that way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's the part that I don't like. I love the connecting with my audience. I love creating. The best part is the product development, like making the products. I live, but I don't want to. No, I don't want to do anything analytical. No taxes, no money, no.
You and I both grew up Latinx in the U.S., but I feel like being Cuban-American in Miami is very different from being Mexican-American, in Florida. We both live in Florida, or the South. Do you ever feel like your experience gets generalized or maybe flattened under that label, like Latino, Latina, Latinx?
Yeah, I don't know if flattened, because I feel like maybe generalized, sure, because like I think people just assume, especially like American white people or like American Black people that are just American, they just kind of think we all come from the same place, I think, or that we're all the same and we all have such unique experiences. But I've always felt like extremely privileged as a Cuban Latina. Like I feel like out of all the Latinos, Cubans have the most privilege. So I've always felt like, and I've always been very clear about that, because I never wanted to seem like I'm capitalizing off of something when I know how how grateful I should be for, So like, for example, as a Cuban American in Miami, we get residency right away. After a year and a day, under the Cuban Adjustment Act, we get residency, right? So our Cuban families don't know what it's like to have to struggle with like the fear of deportation, like the fear of so many things that we don't even have to fathom. So like we get that privilege. And then also a lot of us look white. A lot of us pass as white. So in a state like Florida, which is the South, being white American, like, I mean, being white Cuban, I've never really had any struggles with being a white Cuban in Miami. You know what I mean? Like in that way, like I kind of just blend in, and so that there is a big difference, and I don't take that for granted at all. So yes, like I'm very proud of my Latinaness. I love being Latina, and I'm very unapologetically like Latina. But I know that I have like a lot of privilege in that sense. So yeah, I'm very aware that our experiences are not the same.
Being Mexican American, I've noticed a very different vibe in how our culture is, glam up, from music to holidays, color. What do you think is something very specific or, very unique to Cuban Americanness beauty, maybe, trend or something that,
Mm.
that is very much that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'll be honest, like I wouldn't know. I don't know. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Actually, I don't really know. Well, I do kind of know about I would say, let me answer what I think the Mexican beauty
okay, yeah,
is
yeah.
first. So, what I've seen from like beautiful Mexican makeup, I feel like the Mexican girls love the darker brown liner, right? I
Yes.
feel like they also really love the black wing liner. Like the Latina makeup, when we say
Yeah.
Latina makeup, it's Mexican girls.
Yeah, the copy paste trend that was.
Yeah, the copy paste
Yeah.
Latina makeup. It's like very sharp black wing liner, a dark brown lip, like a dark brown lip liner with a clear gloss, barely any blush, almost. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen the
Yeah.
Mexican girls do. Is that am I
100
right?
I think you got that on the. Yeah, that is literally like all the model shoots in the beginning with my sister.
Mhm.
That's the face.
That's the
That is
face.
the and it's trending nonstop.
It's a
So
vibe. I love it.
it's so beautiful. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, oh, is there something like that Cuban?
Yeah,
Like you're
there
like, oh,
is.
that she's Cuban.
Cubans love like a transparent red gloss. So like the
Ooh.
aguardiente, like you'll always see a Cuban girls with, like those cherry roll-on type of things. They also really like aqua turquoise eyeliners. Like
Ooh, okay.
yeah, like
Gold.
yeah, they like this always my stepmom always did this as a kid. Like she always had like a turquoise or like a aqua liner on her lower lashes. Let's see. They love blush. Cubans always like they like to have blush on, and they like a lot of glossy lip. Like and with a little color. Like it's not common to see nude at all for Cuban ladies. They like pinks and corals and like reddish, but more transparent. So not like a full on matte, kind of like a gloss that has that tint. I think that screams Cuban makeup for sure.
Gotcha.
And like very, very glowy. I feel like they don't like dry looking matte skin. Maybe it's like the tropical humidity.
Maybe.
They like that glowy skin.
Yeah. Because, girl, I've been sweating.
Yeah, it's hot.
Oh.
You can't be matte here, so you kind of have to lean into the glow of it all.
You have to accept it. Have you ever felt that there was like a moment where being a proud Latina has actually made things harder for you? Maybe like moments where you often felt underlooked, underestimated, or maybe people just didn't get what you were, doing because of your Latina.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Especially as I've tried to break into the mainstream, I've had more opportunities come from the fact that I am unapologetically Latina than I have had hurdles. But like for example, I'll give you an example of a hurdle. I had a pitch meeting with a retailer. I won't say which one, but a good one. And I was very excited. That's where I see myself the most. And it was with it was like a junior buyer there. And I could tell she wasn't feeling it. Like I did my whole presentation and I could just tell she wasn't feeling it. She was just like nodding along. She didn't have a lot of questions or anything. And then when we got to the end, she was like, "Oh, this is very cool, like very impressive what you've built. Like the audience, that's very impressive." But just out of curiosity, like, do you think she posed it as a question? She's like, "Do you think that because you have been so pigeonholed, or her words, you have been so pigeonholed into the Latina space that you're missing out on a broader audience? Like, don't you think you'd be a little bit more successful if you were like broadened your horizon a little bit?" And I kind of just like stayed quiet. I didn't have the right answer at that moment. I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I really, I don't want to stray away because this is like who we are. So this is who the community resonates with." And then like the call ended. I knew I wasn't gonna get it. But I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like I wish I would have been better prepared for that answer. Because after that, I came up with the answer. It came to me because I was like in my car or something, and I had seen that the number one artist of the year that year was Bad Bunny. It was the most streamed artist of the year. And I wish I would have like known that when I was talking to her, because I could be like, "No, I don't think so. Because if that was true, then Bad Bunny wouldn't be the number one artist of the freaking year." Because you don't have to speak Spanish to get the vibe. You don't have to be Latina to get the vibe. Like it's a vibe and people like it and they catch on to it. And you don't have to be us to want to sit with us.
Yes, I love that.
So I wish I would have known that, because I would have been given a better answer. But yeah, that's definitely an example of a time where it made me doubt. I'm like, damn, am I too niche? Like, am I not like, are white girls not gonna want to buy my stuff because I'm too Latina and they feel like they can't relate? But it's just not true. Like, it's just not true at all. I've seen especially when I'm doing my lives, When people come in and they're like, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have makeup that works on dark skin? Do you have anything for pale skin? Yes, I do. I have it all. Because even though it's inspired by Latinas come in all colors. So I have something for everybody. So
that's the point where I've hit, where I'm like trying to figure out what, you know, what is the thing I can improve? What's the thing? And I've came to that same thing, you know, where she asked you like, is it too, you know, much? And you're not wrong, where I'm like, why is it a question? You know what I mean? It's like, why? Like, it really shouldn't be, you know, there. And one thing, especially here in Florida, like, because I work, you know, my 9 to 5 is in landscaping and stuff like that in communities. All of these roads, all of these like styles of build, like everything is so inspired, and like you can tell like they're Spanish. There's like I don't want to, not French, but there's like European thing. Like the people love exotic things.
Oh yeah.
People love
100%.
things that are not like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I hate that it's like, oh, is that too Latina? Is that too this? It's like, no, it's not, because people love it. Mexican restaurants thrive like in Florida. Like a lot of white people.
Some of the best food in the world, literally.
Yeah, period. But also, like white people, they love going to Mexican, Latino, like they love their Korean, like they love culture.
They love culture, 100%.
I hate that. Like I thought about that. I'm like, is the Latinaness, like, is it too, like, is it hurting me? And
no, and I told you it wasn't.
Yeah, you told me.
And I told you it wasn't. I gave Sergio the advice, and I'll tell you again. I'm like, never ever shy away from the niche, because the niche is who you are. So first of all, it's authentic. You're not faking it. It's who you can't fake it. It's who you are. So it's like you're putting you in the product. People appreciate that. And at the end of the day, like, people are gonna buy it because they like the vision. They like it's a story. Like, oh my gosh, look at these products all tie into this beautiful world that you're creating. And without that, what is it? Another CoverGirl, another L'Oreal, another. They wish they had a brand story like ours. Like, that would take them so much further, because what we have is so authentic and genuine, because it's actually coming from us, our parents, our heritage. Like, no, they could never. We should never get rid of that.
Right, exactly. So I feel the same way. It's just, you know, it's just really,
it's
tough.
Whenever times are tough, all the self-doubt starts to come up. So even though you've already probably worked through this and you're like, I know it's not true, then like you're not hitting your, you know, your financial goal, and you're like, oh, it must be that. I did doubt that once. I should have. It's not true. You have to quiet those voices, because that's just the self-doubt getting loud again.
So, you know, I mean, look at me. I'm not a mommy. I'm not a mamacita.
You're not a mommy or a mamacita.
Pero
Papacito.
you are. But one day, maybe. No one thinks that.
You're still a papi. Papis don't have to have kids.
Oh, true.
Mommies don't have to have kids.
Very true. Yeah. That's very true. But you are.
Yes, I'm a mommy.
Actual...
I'm a mommy and a mommy.
So how was your journey, you know, of being a mom? Like, how has that affected you personally? And then also, how has it affected, you know, the business?
I think becoming a mom has been nothing but a net positive for me. I literally love it so much. It has like filled my heart with so much hope and joy and love, and like I want to work so much harder, and not even out of like grind, like, you know, like when you want to work hard, but it's coming from like I need to grind, I need to prove them wrong, and it's all coming from like feelings and emotions that are like more in the negative spectrum. I feel completely the opposite. Like, I want to grind, and I want to work, and I want to get better, and it's all from like love and hope and optimism for her. So it's like making the work so much lighter and funner, more fun. And I just literally love it. Like, she makes me feel very childlike again, like makes me feel very light, and like I love being a mom more than I could have ever imagined. When I was pregnant, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna change who I am. I was so scared it would change my dynamic with my husband. Like, I didn't want us to resent each other from the extra stress and whatever. And like, quite the contrary. It has like filled our lives with color. It's been awesome. Literally, highly recommend. Highly recommend. The kids are great.
What's maybe like one part of your Cuban heritage or upbringing that you hope your kids or your future generations will never lose? So like, what's something you're gonna like pass down?
There's so many things I want to pass down. I want her to be like Latina. Okay, I don't want her no sabo kid. I don't. I speak to her only in Spanish.
Good. Yeah.
She's and it's funny because the things that she does say in English, she says it with a Cuban accent. So she'll be like, good morning. Like, she sounds so, Jordan calls her Yubi Lady. Like, that's like a very Cuban name.
Oh, okay.
Like, Yubi Lady is like what every woman that works at a cafeteria in Hialeah is called. So it's just a very common Cuban name. So he calls her Yubi Lady, Yubi Lady. But that's what I want. But the thing that I want the most, like there's so much, but one of the things I want the most is like the spirituality. So like Cubans, not only, and I think Mexicans are exactly the same way. Not only are we like religious and like the Catholic Christian sense, right? I want her to have a relationship with God, but I want her to have that like intuition spirituality that us Latinos have, where like we're like, that person doesn't have good energy for you, like that. It's like a discernment that our parents put into us, especially as Cubans. Like my mom has always been very like, her radar for like people's intentions, people's vibes, people's energy is very, very like in tune, and she's passed that on to me. So I feel like that's like the one thing I want my daughter to have is like that, like I think it's like that Latina discernment, that inner intuition of spirituality. Maybe we're getting it from our ancestors. I don't know what it is, but we're like, we can kind of just peep like the mal de ojo, like when someone doesn't have good vibes for you. Like I'm sure that exists in so many cultures, but it's very prominent in my culture. I don't know how it is in yours.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I love that. We always talk about, being the daughters and the sons of immigrants. Do you ever stop to realize, and think like, well, now we're the blueprint? I guess one beautiful thing about creating your brand is that, if they're up for it, it is something that you can also pass down to them, or maybe something that they can benefit from. Is that something you think about, or like, what we do now or how we choose to live is going to dictate how, our children will live?
Yeah, it's very scary. That puts the pressure on.
Right?
I try to think of myself as like, what I'm actually gonna pass on to my daughter is like the way I act, the way that I behave, right? So like for example, the brand Alamar is just a thing. So like I could end this tomorrow and start something different, and I could end that and start something different, and I could quit everything and go back to college, and what she's going to take from it is like how I treated her, how she felt. You know what I mean? So and the skills that I teach her along the way. And maybe it's not, oh, my mom has always had a successful business. Maybe it's my mom has started over 10 times and never gave up. And that's what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, instead of it being like I want to pass down this tangible business to her. I don't know if Alamar is going to survive 20 more years. Like, you know what I mean? It would be amazing if it did, but it's also okay if it doesn't, because whatever I do next is also going to show her good, positive lessons that she could take with her in her life.
So you recently made a post about the legal hardship you had and how you had to deal with that and how it crushed you emotionally, financially, spiritually, all the above.
All the above.
and right now you said you were sued twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're comfortable, with whatever you're comfortable with sharing, like, I kind of want to, know the chisme. Like, what is that about? Like something like way before when I started, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I have no money for lawyers. I don't have act. I'm like, so I've been like, but I'm like, holy crap, you've been sued. Like what? The
first time that I was sued, which is the big one, that's the one that really got to me, was immediately after I launched Encanto. It was horrible. Like I was honestly, a lawsuit is always terrible, but the way that I handled it was also terrible because I had just gone through that year of like burnout and stress, and I wasn't on my medication anymore, and like whatever, I kind of just like buried my head in the sand, and I'm like,
yeah, how do you handle that?
I was so paralyzed. Yeah. I was so paralyzed. Like every day my husband's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, I don't know. Like, please stop. Like, I didn't know. And it took me so long to get out of that situation. I go over the details in my head, every phone call that we had, every email exchange, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should have gotten this lawyer. Maybe that lawyer advised me. Like, it's so stressful, and it costs so much money, like tens of thousands of dollars down the drain right after like the high from launching the biggest collab of my career, essentially. So that one's that. And then I got it never went through to court, so it wasn't really like a lawsuit, but it was it's like a group of people. Actually, if you're watching this and you are a beauty brand, be careful, because there is this like group of lawyers in California that they go after beauty brands, suing them for Prop 66 violations or Prop 62 violations, something like that. And it's a specific ingredient. There's like a specific list of ingredients that are banned in California, and my Spanglish palette contains one of those ingredients. So they specifically bought a palette on my website in California, because that's how they get you. Like, oh, you see, you shifted it, so that they bought a palette for me and then came after me for that. And it's so crazy, the fines for every day that palette is on the market selling in California with that Prop 62 violation. It's like $1,000 per day, something crazy like that.
Hell no.
But it was immediately dismissed because I have a small business with under 10 employees. So we do not have to adhere by that because we're not selling at the mass level. We're not in Sephora, we're not in Ulta, et cetera, et cetera. But other brands have gotten hit by the same group of lawyers because they make money off of every one of these cases that they,
I've heard
the state
about
of
this.
California pays them for prosecuting and going after these people. So whatever. That was the second one. Also a waste of money. It cost me like that one cost me like $8,000 to deal with. And it's gone. But yeah, waste of time, waste of money.
So since we both conceive, develop, manufacture our own products, we become very close to them. For me, it was very hard to separate myself from some products because I saw that as my art, but I've learned that don't take it personally. Have you ever, had to pivot from something you love that maybe either wasn't selling or maybe like you're just like over it? But how is it like, you still have it, you need to get rid of it?
Yeah, good question.
I don't know how to deal with that.
I think that happens to me often where like maybe someone is like, oh, I really want this. When are you going to restock this? But like either it took too long to sell or I wasn't really in love with it. I don't really like it like that and I don't want to keep selling it. I won't repurchase it. So it's like, that's it. It's discontinued and then it's over. It does happen to me like when I launch a product that isn't 100% perfect, I still try to find like other ways to use it and like try to still be positive about it and still like I've never launched anything that I hate, So even if it's not like my number one favorite product, it might be someone else's number one favorite product. 'Cause remember, taste is very subjective. So like maybe for me, the color doesn't work on me. It's not my favorite thing, but like it might be for someone else. So I still think try to find the positive angle and try to find the audience that will love it and sell it to them. Maybe you wouldn't buy it if it was you, but someone might. So trying to keep that in mind. And yeah, I do get very like I'm very attached to a few of my products, my lip liners specifically. And like I'm going through it right now because my lip liners is one of my best launches. It's one of my favorite products, but the manufacturer that I make them with, which is the best lip liner manufacturer in the world, not even making that up, they really are. They, since COVID, have like drastically risen their prices and also risen their minimum order quantity. It's basically unaffordable to me now to get the liners that I'm so well known for. Like my Dulce liner that people love. Like if I were to go and buy it right now, just to get Dulce, it would cost me like $10K. I know.
And
I'm over here blowing $8,000 on frivolous lawsuits. Like it kills me because money can actually take you so far. That's what keeps you going, like being able to launch things and restock things. So those of you that are wondering, when is Bonbon liner coming back? When is Birthday Suit liner coming back? When is Coqueta liner coming back? Those three together would cost me $30K. So be patient. And then people want new things. Of course, they're like, when something new dropping, when something new dropping. I'm like,
it's really difficult. That's why. Yeah. You stated before that you fully want to flesh out your brand. With more product categories, eventually get into big retailers. It's like an old video you created where you were talking about. I don't know if it's concealed. You did talk about launches that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Is that still like the end goal for Alamar? Like you really want to get into retailer? It's just it's difficult. So it's like maybe not tomorrow, but
yeah.
Is that still an end goal for you?
I go back and forth on this so much. Like I have periods of my life where I'm like, that's how I'm going to make it. Like that's how this brand is going to stretch out for another 10 years. Like I need to get in retail. That's where the money is, distribution, right? And then I have other times where I'm like, that's not true. The money is in connecting to your audience. The money is in social media. The money is in content. Or like the best way to stretch out the brand and keep it relevant and having longevity is not in retail. It's through direct to consumer, connecting to the audience. So I'm in that space. Right now, I'm in like community building, social media, content. Like right now, that's where my energy is. Beauty boxes are really great too. And my energy is not in retail, but it goes back and forth. Maybe because I've been rejected from retail so many times that I'm kind of like, maybe it's just not meant to be. But it has so many pros and cons. It's a whole nother beast. If and when I am going to go into retail, I need a partner. I already know, like at this point, I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. I know that I can't handle the workload of distribution without a partner. So maybe one day, but like not today.
So I showed you the products. There's things that I've worked on. They're literally ready to just, hey, let me,
pull
get
the trigger.
Thousands of these and like let's do it. That it's not possible yet, but like I feel right now with the products I have now, I'm like I love them. It's their own story. I'm so disconnected from them that it's made it hard for me to, hey, please buy this. But that's a me thing. Like I need to show up to work. That's work, so I need to do that. But I'm so like, oh, I've been working on this. I've been working on, so I'm like,
but like, okay, wait, idea. why don't you, I've been trying to explain to Sergio that I think he needs to get on lives and connect with an audience. Stat.
Yes.
But part of what you can do there is not only selling what you have, but being like, look at all these samples. Like, I want to make this happen. You could even crowdfund for them.
Like
you could even be like, if you guys want this gel, like, dude, you could maybe get 5 samples of them and be like, 5 of you, I'm gonna send this out. Let's do a little focus group. Send 5 to 5 people. Like, build the hype with content and lives around this potential launch. And literally, though, you would be surprised. There are so many angels. There are literally so many angels in this world, but you can't find them if you don't put yourself out there. Through my lives, like through showing up on TikTok live and like doing these lives every night and meeting people, I have literally come across literal angels who want to support me just because they like what I'm doing, and they buy every single time I go live. Like, I have people that they buy every single time I go live, to the point where I'm like, what are you doing with all this makeup? And they're like, oh, I give it away. I just want to support you. I give it to them. I'm like, you're just an angel.
Yeah, and not only the Exotica palette, I love it. I was wearing it around Christmas time. My cousin, well, they're both my cousins. They saw my makeup. They're like, I love it, and I'm like, yeah, girl, this glitter, this is chef's kiss. And they're like, oh, like I want to get it, and then I showed them. I'm like, do you know about Alamar? Like, no, and so I was showing them and stuff, and they're like, oh, can you get me one? They're like my age. They could have bought it themselves.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, girl, no, don't worry, I got it. So I went online and I bought 2 of them.
Oh my god.
And you were like running on the website, and you were having, around that
Yeah,
time, so
yeah.
you're,
A lot
sales
of
stuff.
promotions.
So I think I like maybe saved like a few bucks. So I'm pretty sure, like you said, there's people who are like recommending your products, and they're like, yeah, I'll grab some for you.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like, oh, I'm thinking about my friend, my cousin, I'm gonna buy some for them.
Yeah, I get that a
So,
lot on my
yeah.
lives. And thank you so much for supporting. You're the sweetest.
No, girl, always.
Thank
I
you.
always either buy from you or like directly, or some stuff I have gotten in my BoxyCharm, like I pick it. And then the bronzer, the only reason why I got it, because I didn't know about well, I got it because you can add like mini deluxe or whatever onto it. So I
Add-ons,
did.
yeah.
And then I was like, well, I saw it in one of your posts. You teased it. So I kind of, I'm like, oh, I've seen the
You
component.
knew it was coming.
But I was like, wait, but you haven't like
Promoted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't really promoted it on Instagram, because we went back earlier and we spoke about what we think is worth spending and what we think is not worth spending.
Right.
And like, to promote on Instagram, you need a lot of like photo content. You need to like have a good photo shoot. You need to have swatches.
Okay, so
things like that I haven't been like able to invest in. So I've just been selling it on my lives, like showing
Gotcha.
it, and people like it and they buy it right then and there without me having to invest in like marketing material.
that is so interesting because that doesn't work. All my years, if you look back at my Instagram, I took product photos and they're so beautiful, they're so pretty. Like, and I've been like, oh, like I think I did pay someone to do like a Halloween themed shoot for the palette. Like, he did an amazing job. It's like we're not there anymore.
We're not there
We're
anymore.
not there anymore.
When was the last time you spent your hard-earned money on something because it looked pretty in a picture?
I feel like those pictures, if you're in a retailer,
Of
you
course.
need them.
Yeah.
But like for us, it's like that is money.
That is so much money. And it doesn't convert customers in a way that a video, you just sitting here and showing your personality and be like, I created this and here's the story behind this and I brought it to you because of it. That is so much more converting into customers than a pretty photo. And the video is free and the live is free, while the photo shoot can cost us $10,000.
And people scroll. That pissed me off. It doesn't get engaged, and like it's boring.
We don't live in a video. I mean, we don't live in a photo world anymore. Instagram's not a photo app anymore. It's a Reels app. It's a short form content. Yeah, or carousels. But even then, like, bye. No one's like, oh, let me go to alamarcosmetics.com because these pictures are pretty. Doesn't work anymore. There was a time when that did work. People would see it in a photo, be like, oh, and then you hook them with something else, or on the stories, you do a Q&A, and there was ways before, but I just feel like that those marketing photos are so expensive that it's just not worth the price for the cost of acquiring a customer through them.
Are there like launches? You kind of already teased this on your own socials, but like the launches that you've been working on, or maybe that you're like still trying to push, but you couldn't be done, or maybe in the future, like I'd love to know the chisme.
So I have a couple things that I've been working on. I've been working on like contour bombs, double-ended contour bomb sticks, a new palette.
Have you heard of Dibs?
Yes, I have heard of Dibs. I have heard of Dibs.
So I saw like, someone like makeup news reporter, like they're like, yeah, this company's about there's someone's gonna buy into it, or something, or they're doing
Wow.
massive sales, and then multi-use stuff. And I'm like, I've been thinking about multi-use stuff, especially because we know that that's something Box Charm, loves.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the things, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
for
that's
sure.
where I think everything's headed.
I
But
agree. That's why I did Viva Las Chicas, because I feel like multi-use stuff is like, for example, Viva Las Chicas, you get a cream blush that you could use on the lips or the cheeks. The pressed glitter you could use on the eyes or the anywhere.
I love the press glitter.
Yeah, the pressed glitter's freaking
So
so good.
good.
Even all over the chest, like it's so good. So I agree. I think multi-use stuff is really it. For my double-ended contour bombs, the concept that I have working on right now is a balm, like a contour balm on one side and then a highlighting balm on the other. But not a highlighting like illuminator, like highlighting like a creamy kind of balm texture you could put under the eyes, like on top of your concealer and on top of your powders, like refresh it. That's the concept right now. So that's kind of the idea. So it's not like an illuminator. It's more of like a balm, but no shimmer.
I see what you mean. You're talking about highlight in the sense of light and dark,
Correct.
not glitter shine.
Exactly. In the sense of light and dark. Correct. So it would have like depth where you want to add depth, and then the highlight side is like a balm, but it has pigment. So it's almost like if like you mixed. This is not the way it's gonna be, but almost like if you mix your concealer with a little bit of Vaseline, like to thin it out. So it's like very glowy and like refreshes all that cakey powder that can happen under the eye, but with a little bit of that pigment as well. That's kind of my concept.
Because you say balm, and I'm like, what is that? What is that gonna feel? And if you can put it on top of makeup, like
that's the concept right now.
Yeah, you're working. You're like, how are we gonna?
Because this is me trying to explain that to my lab and trying to like, get it across. Like you should see the first sample. I didn't bring it, but the first sample of the highlight balm is like. It's not.
You're like, Mama, what is this?
We're nowhere near. I'm like, no. Back to the drawing board. But we're going to get it.
I love that.
We're going to get it. I'm very persistent.
Okay, so that's something that like current, and you're like,
that's current.
We're starting.
That's current.
What's something that like it's ready, but...
I don't really have anything ready, actually. I don't have anything ready. Like, I don't have any prepared samples that are ready to go. I have a blush palette that I'm working on. Of like a bunch of discontinued shades that people have been asking me for, where I'm putting the 3 together, but I don't have artwork yet, so it's not like ready. So right now nothing is ready. Everything's kind of in development because I didn't know what the tariff situation was going to be. So I didn't want to invest money in developing products and paying for artwork for the graphic designer, paying my lab fees for development, and then like the product is just sitting there and I can't order it because the tariff is 150%. And I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people in the industry that kind of paused on production because we didn't know where it was going. But the second that we got told it was going to be 30%, I got back to work. I
mean, I bet, some Alamar mommies are like, you just mentioned that you're thinking about, discontinued shades or shades people are asking for. I know there are people who love the Encanto collection. Do you plan on like maybe bringing like, the formulas back? Like, or is there, with Disney, like, can you do that? Like without it being that?
Yeah, I can definitely bring the colors 100%. The colors are mine.
Okay.
The formulations are mine. I just can't have it in that Encanto packaging.
Yeah, the packaging. Gotcha.
But there are 2 shades coming back from that collection in that palette that I spoke to you about, the blush palette.
Ooh.
So that's something that we're working on now. And the shades are done. We're just working on the artwork. So yeah, they'll see those blushes come back.
Ooh, yeah. I can't wait, you guys.
The eyeshadow palette, maybe I could bring 1 or 2 shades back or something, but I'll be honest with you, I made that eyeshadow palette with an Italian vendor, which I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? It's like 3 times the cost and the quality is no different than what I do now. So I just, in that point in my life, I'm like, I'm gonna be the bougiest, most high quality eyeshadow, most high quality brand for the best price. I don't make my stuff in China. I make, like, that was my mentality at the time, which is so dumb. And that's why it's so important for your frontal lobe to develop, because I was like 27 at the time, and that was silly. It was a waste of money. I could have done that same quality in China or Taiwan, but I just wanted to prove a point. I had a chip on my shoulder.
Well, okay, yeah, I get what you mean, but I mean, it makes sense. You wanted quality.
I wanted quality.
That was
but you can get quality in other places.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Italy, but it just sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like,
If Alamar was a telenovela, what would be the title right now? What's the current drama, the plot twist, the love triangle?
I love that question. If Alamar was a telenovela, what would the name be? Oh my gosh, let's see. It would be like Colores de Amor, or like, I don't know. It would be like, I was gonna say Dolores que matan. No, I was gonna say something about like, I wanted something to be about like rebirth. like rebirth and transformation, like something like that. But vuelve a nacer, it sounds weird, but like something in that realm. Like the plot, my plot would definitely be about like a comeback story. Like I really think I'm building my comeback story right now. And like I just think like I had my, have you ever heard of a Saturn return?
Yes.
Okay, so like it's like when your whole identity, everything you've always thought you were, everything you've always thought you've known, like the whole identity you have for yourself crumbles, and like you have a massive ego death where you have no idea who you are anymore. And then you're like, what now? And then you have no choice but you either stay down forever. And I really do think there's adults that you see that have stayed down.
Oh yeah, you see it.
And you see that they're just like beaten down, like they've never been able to recover, or you recover. And I feel like I'm in that recovery of like rebuilding my identity, and like the brand is a reflection of my identity in a way. So although as I'm rebuilding my own identity back up, like I'm rebuilding the brand's identity too. So it would be somewhere along those lines. Vuelve a nacer or something.
I love that because I mean, like we're in different places, different things. But I feel like, I guess you could say spiritually, we're like on a parallel level, aligned. Yeah.
And I feel like you're still so unbelievably young. I was your age when I launched Alamar. So the fact that you have 5 years on me of already doing this and already learning, like you are still so young in your career. Like I was literally your age when I launched, okay? And look at how much has changed and how many twists and turns and what life has thrown at me, and like, and I'm still standing. So like, you do not get down on yourself because you haven't been able to crack the code you're only 25. Like BFFR at 25, who even has a brand. I started at 25. So hang in there. Like you're doing what you need to be doing. Just keep pouring your energy into it in these positive ways. Like you have this idea to do a podcast and you think, do it. Like pour yourself into it. It's a good positive thing. And don't get down on yourself when it's not an immediate smash hit. The first TikTok shop live I ever did, I had 20 viewers. You know, if I would have been like, oh, this sucks, it wasn't worth it, it didn't work. Like I invested all this, and if I had fed this narrative of like it failed, I would have quit and I wouldn't have kept doing it. And then 2 years later, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So keep doing it. Keep showing up, keep pouring your creativity in what makes you happy.
Girl, love you.
Love you for that. I'm happy that we were able to like, see each other.
Last question, I guess, is if your child sees this years from now, what would you want them to take away from who you are during this season of life?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry. Zone.
Wait, zone sue.
Oh my gosh, what do I want her to take away from this in the season of my life? I'm so happy. She has made me so happy. I just can't.
Is that where Bo is gonna go?
She's literally made my life so awesome. This is the best stage of my life by far because of her. And yeah, that's all I can say.
I love that. It's okay. I love that. I love that. Okay. Damn, I didn't think about I made these questions.
Sergio. You can't get deep with me.
Okay.
I will cry every time.
I'm like, who wrote these questions?
Literally,
you're fired. We can't do this.
You're so profound.
I know people know this, but where can they find you? Where can they continue to follow your journey?
They can find Alamar Cosmetics on alamarcosmetics.com, on Alamar Cosmetics TikTok shop, on Instagram. I'm posting there again as well. And yeah, I think those are the three main places: website, TikTok, and Instagram. And you could find all of our content and sales and everything there. And for the mommies and papis from the Chula beauty world that are watching this, and Sergio's audience, if you guys want to check out Alamar Cosmetics, you can use the name Sergio. I'm going to give you guys 25% off. If there's anything you guys want to try after the interview, you can get it on alamarcosmetics.com for 25% off. Use code Sergio.
You guys, yeah, please take advantage of that, because that is a really great discount that Gaby is gifting us. So thank you so much.
Of course, thank you so much.
And you're only getting this if you're watching this. So if someone out there is, throwing it out there, like, don't stop.
Don't be promoting Sergio's coupon code without him.
They need to watch this entirely.
Exactly. Okay. Save it for the end.
Yeah, and if you guys got something out of this conversation or learned something about Gaby's journey, please let us know below. Please support and share the video. Please subscribe to my channel.
Yes.
And obviously follow Alamar and Gaby, of course. And yeah, I can't wait to show more Hispanic Heritage Month content. So
yes, and thank you so much for the opportunity to tell my story,
No,
Sergio.
thank you for making time, girl. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I really, really enjoyed our conversation.